Hello friends, we have to see ruby laser. This is a first successfully invented laser which is invented by T.H. Memon in the year 1960. It is a solid state laser because the active medium used in this laser is made up of a solid. This ruby laser comprises of a 3-level laser system. We know for any laser we have to fulfill three conditions. That is, we have to require three basic components of laser which are having, first one is active medium is required, second component is pumping system, and third requirement is resonance cavity. In previous lecture we discussed these 3 points and we say that these are the 3 important components for the laser action. So let us see the construction of this ruby laser. This ruby laser consists of a cylindrical ruby rod. Suppose this is a ruby rod, or we also call it as a ruby crystal. It is a pink in color. That is, the color of ruby rod is pink, and it is made up of Al2O3, in which chromium oxide is mixed as impurity. Means what? The sum of the Al2 plus ions from this Al2O3 are replaced by Cr3 plus ions. But the percentage of this Cr3 plus ions are 0.05% in this composition, and this Cr3 plus ions acts like a medium for this ruby laser. Now this ruby laser is surrounded by a helical xenon flash lamp like this. Or we call it as a flash tube also, with power supply. This is capacitor, and this is capacitor C, this is resistance R, and this is a helical xenon flash tube. Then why we use this helical xenon flash tube or flash lamp? The reason is, in initial condition, if we consider the case of atoms or molecules, then in that case number of electrons in a ground state are more than number of electrons in excited state. That is, N1, suppose N1 is the number of electron in ground state, is always greater than number of electrons in excited state, that is N2. In initial condition, if there is no any energy is provided for the system. But for laser action we have to achieve population inversion, and for population inversion we have to fulfill this condition, that is, we have N2 must be greater than N1. This is condition of population inversion. So we have to make this N2 greater than N1, and for this we have to make transition from ground state energy level to the excited state energy level. So, and to make this transition we have to require a pumping, and hence we use a optical pumping here, and for that this xenon or helical xenon flash tube is used. Now we have also require resonance cavity. How to make resonance cavity? We place active material in between two mirrors such that one mirror is fully reflecting and other mirror is a partially reflecting mirrors. But if we take this ruby rod, then we doesn't require external mirrors to make this resonance cavity. We can also make resonance cavity like this. Suppose this is end named as A and this is B. So polish these two ends and make silvered both the ends A and B such that this end A is fully reflecting and this end B is partially reflecting. So in this way we create a resonance cavity there. So we fulfill these three conditions or three components. We take active medium, that is ruby rod. Pumping system used is helical xenon flash tube and resonance cavity by making silvering on both the ends of this ruby rod. But when laser is in working, in that case this ruby rod heats up, which causes damaging to this laser, and for that the cooling system is required. So this rod is kept in a glass tube. This is a glass tube consisting of a coolant in that. This is a glass covering or a glass tube. We use here water circulation for cooling, or also we use liquid nitrogen also. So this is all about the construction of this ruby rod. So now we have to study working of this ruby laser. For working, see this is a E1 is a ground state energy, level. E3 and E4 are excited state energy and E2 is a metastable state. This metastable state consists of two energy levels or pair of energy levels. At the initial condition, the Cr atoms from this ruby rod are in this ground state. When we on this xenon flash lamp, the radiations are incident on the Cr atoms such that these atoms absorb the incident radiation consisting of wavelength 5500 angstrom unit and 4000 angstrom unit, and it goes to the respective excited state energy level. Suppose when the Cr atoms absorb energy consisting of a wavelength 5500 angstrom unit, then it goes to the excited state energy level E3. This A3 corresponds to green color. Now if this Cr atom absorb wavelength of 4000 angstrom unit, then the transition is from E1 to E4, and this E4 energy level corresponding to blue light or blue color. So when it absorbs wavelength of 5500, it goes to E3 level, and when the Cr atom absorbs 4000 angstrom unit energy or wavelength, it goes to E4 energy level. Then one question may come in your mind that why I represent 4000 angstrom unit wavelength with transition from E1 to E4, and for 5500 angstrom unit wavelength the transition is from E2 to E3. That is, for maximum wavelength transition is less, and for small wavelength transition is high. So the reason behind this is, we know a formula, E is equal to h nu, and nu is equal to c by lambda. So this h is a Planck's constant, c is a velocity of light. So these two terms are constant terms, and this is lambda, which is wavelength. So here E is inversely proportional to this lambda. So as E increases, lambda decreases, and as E decreases, lambda increases. And due to this, 4000 angstrom unit corresponding to transition from E1 to E4, and 5500 angstrom unit correspond to transition E1 to E3 energy level. Now due to this pumping system, population inversion is done. That is, now N2 is greater than N1. And this is useful condition for the laser action. We know the electrons can't stay for a longer time in excited state E3 and E4. So it de-excites to a energy level E2 from E4 and E3 also. In this case, or in this transition, no radiation is emitted. So radiation from this E4 to E2 and E3 to E2 are the radiation less transitions. Here, when electron come to this energy metastable state E2, the lifetime of this metastable state is 3 into 10 power minus 3 seconds. That is, this lifetime is more than this excited state energy level lifetime. So one thing regarding this metastable state corresponding to two energy levels having wavelength 6943 angstrom unit and 6929 angstrom unit. So this lower energy level corresponding to wavelength 6943 and upper energy corresponding to 6929 angstrom unit. So here in between these two energy level, that is in between energy level E1 and energy level E2, stimulated emission will take place by emitting energy consisting of wavelength 6943 angstrom unit and not 6929 angstrom unit. this 6943 angstrom unit wavelength corresponding to a red color, and due to this laser is called as a ruby laser. So these emitting photons traveling along this axial direction are reflected again and again due to this silvered end, and finally it emerged out from this partially reflecting side. And this beam is a coherent unidirectional beam. But this ruby rod is not a continuous laser, it is a pulsed laser. Why? Because here when capacitor is in on condition, this flash tube is in that case this flash tube is in off condition, while capacitor is discharging, the lamp is in on condition. So due to this, instead of getting a continuous laser, we get a pulsed laser beam. This is all about this ruby laser. Thank you.